All right, we are live. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world joining us on our webinar this morning. Today, we have a webinar that's part of our AI Innovators series, and we are going to hear from Vivian at School of AI about how they create and translate courses at scale using HeyGen. We're so glad that you all joined us. While we give people a couple minutes to tune in, we'd love to hear in the chat where you're joining from. Let us know where you are in the world. We have an amazing global group of people who join these webinars. I'm in San Francisco, California, at HeyGen's office here. Vivian, where are you calling in from today?
I am calling from home, Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Love seeing where people are calling in from in the chat. We have a quick 30 minutes this morning, and we want to save some time for Q&A. So we are going to jump right in. In this session, we are going to hear from Vivian about the success he's seen with HeyGen. If you are brand new to HeyGen, this is a great story, great inspiration to hear about what success can look like using HeyGen to create courses. But people are using HeyGen to create and translate explainer videos, social media promotion, personal branding, so many different things to help them scale their own voice authentically by creating a digital twin and then letting HeyGen do the heavy lifting of video production for you. Our mission at HeyGen is to make visual storytelling accessible to everyone. So today's story is one example of what that can look like in action. We are going to go through Vivian's story as the Chief Education Officer at School of AI. I'll hand it over to him in just a second. He'll share how School of AI was born, what it looked like before HeyGen, and how his entire process was transformed after HeyGen. What's next for him? I'm always incredibly inspired every time we get to talk Vivian. I'm excited to hear what's kind of your plan to take School of AI to the next level. And then we'll have some time for Q&A, so please drop your questions into the Q&A tab, and we will get to those at the end. All right, well, I'm going to hand it over to you. I'll stop sharing.
Awesome. Thanks, Audrey. Again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you, wherever you're joining from. Thanks for being here. And Audrey, again, thanks for setting this up. I am always happy to talk about HeyGen and some of the work that we are doing at School of AI. Just a little bit introduction. I'm Vivian Arana. I'm in Atlanta, and I started School of AI a couple of years back, and I'm going to probably share some of that in this particular webinar. And I have been a technologist for last 20 years, working with mobile, web, and now last 7 years I've been working in AI. And that brings us, so that's enough about me. Let's talk about School of AI. So I'm going to start sharing. Let me know, Audrey, if you can see my screen.
Yep, we can see it.
Awesome. So how School of AI was born, that is a very interesting story. Just to give a little bit background, I started teaching online or teaching in person back in 2009. I was doing mobile and web development back then. And when I was doing that, I created an audience. I was not sure that I was able to teach in the start, but when I started doing it more and more, I started learning more and teaching more. And these were mobile and web development developers that I was creating back then. And since 2016 or 2019, I was working more on enterprise AI projects, and these projects were not that new. In 2019, nobody knew about AI. Everybody was talking about COVID end of the year and 2020, but we were working in AI at the company that I was working at, and we were building AI projects back then. And in 2024, I think that's when ChatGPT got really popular. It started in 2022, but 2023 there were more. Google got into it. OpenAI was very big. Meta got into it. So 2024, we started seeing the effect of AI, where AI, it was not coming for your job, but it was coming for people who did not adopt to AI. And that's when a lot of my old students and new students, and they were either professionals or someone who was graduating from school, they were talented, they had the background, but they didn't have enough work in their portfolio. And that's what happens, right? Whenever a new technology comes up, people are saying that, oh, AI is there, we want to do something in AI, but we want 20 years of experience in AI. Now that doesn't exist in real life, but still, if you have a little bit experience, that's where you kind of, the companies settle down. Okay, you have 2 years of experience, you have built 10 projects, that's where it kind of fills up. So these students or these professionals who came to me, they were saying that, I have a gap, I don't have a job right now, I want to learn more in AI. So that's when I started, I saw potential that I can create an organization, School of AI, and then teach people about some of the projects, get them involved in real world project. Because these guys, as I mentioned, they're talented, they knew how programming works, they knew Python, but they were not able to catch up with the new tools and technologies, as we still can't, because there's new thing coming out every other day. So that's how we started with School of AI. And when I started School of AI, I initially started training people live. We started with bunch of different projects, 25 projects. That is what I was thinking of, real world projects that they would work with School of AI, and then implement them and create an amazing portfolio. So that will help all the students learn AI and then kind of showcase the work that they've done on their website. So that kind of helped them. By some of them, actually, like within 5 or 6 projects, as soon as they started working on them and started putting them online on their GitHub or social media, LinkedIn, it started getting them recognition from recruiters, from organizations, from their own organizations. And they kind of got into next step, where they started getting into better jobs, better portfolios. And people who completed 25 projects, they also had that option where they did something, and some of them even went to become founders of new AI companies, where they started their own organization and started building a product around AI. So that was something that started initially. Now the problem was, time was limited. I could only do, I think first batch we did 45 students, but then I realized that I need to reach more people. There are more people who are involved in this, and that's when I started making more videos. In 2024, end of 2024, I started releasing some of the courses that you'll probably see online, which are 13 weeks, 14-week courses, which talks everything about AI. And these were all me creating it, going to my basement, learning about different technologies that are new, that needs to be covered. And students were going through them and acknowledging what is good and what is bad. Again, some of these things change every day, so they are not up to date, but then again, it helped them set the base of what they are. So I started creating video content that helped reach millions of people, and all over the world. Pretty much they can look at these videos whenever they want as part of School of AI, and they can come back with just questions. So now I don't have to go live every time. I created a session, office hours, where I would meet them once a week and then just answer their questions if they have any problems. And then by mid 2025, I started getting, like, as I said, I reached thousands of students. By right now, I have a big number, around 2 million enrollments in my courses. But in 2025, I started getting so many different people join. The office hours started going crazy. And but that was not just it. That was, all my courses were in English. And since I was reaching thousands of people all over the world, there were people who would not understand. And as you can see, like, sometimes I speak fast, sometimes I go slow. So there were some problems with that, and they wanted courses in their native language. And that's when I was trying to figure out that how do I support language. There were some students who also reached out to me and said that, okay, should we convert your content into Spanish? There were some Spanish students that I had. They're like, okay, we can understand it, we can convert it in Spanish. But again, just to convert that into Spanish, it would take them almost 3 to 4 months. So that's when, so as I mentioned, all content was English, millions of potential learners that can't access, and everything was there. All the courses were like, I had 7-day quick crash course in AI. I had 30 days build 30 projects. I had a 14-week AI course, which was amazing, and which set the background of AI development for everyone, from simple AI tools to CNNs, RNNs, all the complex material, everything was covered in that. But again, English. That was the only problem. So that's when I came to know about HeyGen. Some of my friends, they mentioned that, oh, there's a tool called as HeyGen, which can help you convert. And I was, again, it's another tool. How can I trust it, and how can I even know if it's translating it properly? But I was like, let me give it a try. I mean, there's a nice trial period that HeyGen has, so I'm like, okay, let me use this trial period and convert some of my videos. And that's when I converted, for the first three courses that I mentioned, into Spanish, into French, into Hindi, into Portuguese. I did Chinese, I did, you name it, I probably did every single language. And just to try it out, I sent it to some of my students, and the response was, when did you start learning Spanish, or when did you start learning French? And I was like, I did not, I used the tool. And from the feedback that I got, I realized the translation was amazing. I did a lot of different languages, as I mentioned, but I saw like the majority of, like, if you, the Hindi that I did, for example, I sent it to India, and I understand Hindi myself, but I sent it to some of my Indian friends, and they were like, I don't understand Hindi as pure as you're talking in this video. So the translation was that good. And I'll show you example here, one of them. So this is in
La sesión de hoy es un curso intensivo sobre gobernanza de la IA,
just to check, Audrey, you can hear the voice, right? Just want to make sure that.
diseñado específicamente para líderes
Yeah.
empresariales y
You can hear
gerentes
it.
de productos.
Awesome. So yeah, and this is my.
La session d'aujourd'hui est un cours accéléré sur la gouvernance de l'IA, conçu spécifiquement pour les dirigeants d'entreprise et les chefs de produits, et non pour les juristes ou les data scientists. L'objectif est simple, que ne devienne excessivement bureaucratique.
Again, just to let you know, I still can't speak any of these languages, Spanish or French, and I can't understand anything of this. But when I submitted these courses, now some of my friends actually reviewed it for me, but after that, I submitted it to Udemy, where I upload most of my courses, and I got really good reviews, which kind of validated that, whatever translation was done by HeyGen was amazing. And it took like only a few clicks. I had this as I mentioned, 14-week, around 60 hours of content. I uploaded all of them onto HeyGen, and within, like, in the morning when I woke up, everything was translated. Within 24 hours, as I could say, everything was translated, and I was able to put that course in Spanish online. And I did the same thing after that. And every other course that I built after that, I made sure that I had at least translation in Spanish and French, because those are the most spoken language, or my audience is mostly Spanish and French, that I distributed these videos to. So again, because of this, I got a global breakthrough. I saw, as I mentioned, immediate response. It was amazing content. People were giving with good reviews, so that kind of validated my choice. And now I was able to reach a much bigger crowd and spread to more people. Again, if you are doing this for any of your languages, I would recommend try the trial period and go through it and see how it works. And it worked really good for me. Now, after that, after playing with HeyGen for a little while, I got a little bit expert in HeyGen, I would say. And end of the day, what happened was I was working a lot building videos, not actually doing what I am. I am a core engineer at heart. I've been doing development for last 20 years, more than 20 years now. And I was, and making videos is not my specialty. I don't like to have like cameras pointed at me and I am recording all the time. It's a lot of work, especially when you're recording yourself. So as I mentioned, the course that took me 13 weeks to build, I would go to my basement, set up a studio over there, set up my cameras, light, and I was doing this in the evening. So lighting was not as good as what we have right now. Right now it's 12:15 p.m. So the light is pretty good here. But at night, the light was not good. So, and then every time I speak, there were a lot of stop words that I would use, or I would forget some context. So editing that. So if I'm making, let's say, an hour-long video, it would take me probably 6 to 7 hours to make it first, create the content in the start. Creating the content was easy because I knew the topic very well. Recording was a problem, and with your computers, every time you record something the with demo gods never work with you, so they will break something or other, and I would have to re-record stuff and then go back and edit it. So make sure my voice is proper, make sure that I can understand myself at first place, so I can use, even if I have to translate it, I need to make sure that I'm saying the right lines, right? So that took me a lot of time. So that 3 months that I spent building a course was a lot more of teaching than, and but a lot more of like editing than teaching. So that's when I realized that HeyGen has the capability of creating a digital twin. So I recorded my own video, a 2 minute video, and my voice, and uploaded it to HeyGen. And then I was amazed of how amazing it looked like. For example, I'll show you a video here.
Are you ready to become an AI hero, not just in theory, but in action? Welcome to the #1 AI course on Udemy. With over 1,000 plus real-world AI.
So this is the video, or sorry, this is the video that I created for my AI Mastery Bootcamp as a promo video. The rest of the stuff is all the same 3 months of content that I recorded, but I just wanted to see creating a promo video of how it works, and it was flawless. I didn't have to, for just this video, which is 2 minutes long. It took me like less than 2 minutes, because think about it. All I had to do was put the script in, and then HeyGen would handle the rest of the stuff: lights, camera, and delivery. I didn't have to edit it, re-edit it. I don't have to speak anything. All I did was I recorded a 2 minute video and my voice, and then entered both of them into HeyGen, and it created the digital twin for me. I could use all the different models out there, voice models, to modulate. If you see, my voice is a little bit different in that video because I tried to make it more smooth and more perfect, so it doesn't speak as fast as I do. And it had options to make it excited, make it calm, even flirty. So it doesn't work with my voice anyways, but that's what I could do. These options I used to make sure that I could make these videos, and all I had to worry about is content. I could focus on my coding skills, learning more tools, and then just write the script, and HeyGen would take care of videos and videos and all the presentation out there. So this is what I probably say all the time. What I did was I took that course which I built using, which took me 3 months, and now I was like trying to see if I make a new course on AI, which I did recently, and it took me less than 40 hours. In a week's time, I was able to complete the entire course. So think of it this way: like in a year back then in 2024, I could create 4 courses a year. If I focus too much, it would take 3 months per course, and have an amazing course, it would take me 4 months, 4 courses per year. But with HeyGen, now I was able to create one course in a week, which means it would take me only 4 weeks to create what I could do a year back, which means I have 11 months to either work or vacation, whatever you call it. But I was able to build lots more courses, and currently I think School of AI is setting at over 130 courses, 135 courses from what I remember. So I was able to expedite my process and also reach many more students. So currently I think I have around 2.2 million total enrollments across all my courses. uh, Also, I had taught the same system, what I'm doing, to a couple of more instructors. So you'll probably see more instructors who have joined School of AI and helped me create more courses. I had a new one boarded just this week. So I have around 3 instructors other than me who are working on this. At the same time, I also have a team that I have created which just does HeyGen stuff. So all I have to do is focus on the content, and I give my content to my team, and they create videos for me using HeyGen. So it kind of helped me so much to focus on what I do like to best. I like to do best, and then give all my work to others to work on other things. Again, after this, now I'm started, like in December 25th, I came to know about School, and I started creating a community on School, SKOOL. That's where I started School of AI community. So I can use all that time that I'm saving, creating a community, answering people's questions, trying to see what people are doing. I was able to get more feedback, listen to people, and my focus now shifted from like actual content creation to make sure my students are successful in whatever they're doing. Uh, some of the tools that I use other than HeyGen is Gamma for slides. Again, my UI skills are really bad. I can't put red and green and yellow and orange together. It looks really bad. If you know me, you probably know what I'm talking about. But using Gamma, I was able to just put my script that I have into slides and then create really amazing slides with Gamma. I've used multiple Gen AI tools, be it ChatGPT, be it Perplexity, Copilot. So I've used multiple ones to test out which one works best. And there is, in this current age, there are so many different AI tools available. You just have to figure out where you want to automate that. This brings us to my next slide, which is what this kind of entire thing taught me. It taught me, like, you know, when computers came in initially, people were against it. When mobile phone came around initially, people were around against it. Like, why are we having a bigger phone than a razor, which can easily slide in your pocket? So AI kind of helps us. AI came in, a lot of people are against AI, but I would say AI helps you remove the friction and kind of help you be more creative. As you saw, like, I don't have to worry about video editing. Can focus on learning more on the AI tools and building better courses and teach my students better. I We can scale with all these tools that are available. Anything that you think you're doing which AI can help with, like creating slides, creating presentations, Gamma helps, creating videos, making your digital twin, HeyGen helps there. So this will help you reach more people. Again, language, time, and productions are solvable problems. You don't have to learn 200 languages. HeyGen helps you with those 200 plus languages and different dialects over there. You can save your time and focus on what you like best. And again, as I said, production is easy. Video production is so easy. I just record one video and we get there. So now, this is the most commonly asked question: what am I doing now? Because if everything is automated, I'm focusing on stuff, I have a community running. What is my next chapter? So for me, the next chapter is Agentic AI, and 2026 is all about Agentic AI, which means automating all these processes. HeyGen has really amazing APIs, and our Gamma has amazing APIs. So I'm looking at building workflows where I can just give the content that I know, polish it better using some AI tools, and then just add it to my workflow system, and it will automatically create Gamma slides, and then it will call HeyGen APIs and create my videos, and then it will call HeyGen APIs again and translate in a bunch of different languages. And I am hoping to reach 5 million enrollments by end of this year. That's my target. In last 2 years, I got 2 million, or a year and a half, I got 2 million. And I'm very positive that by end of 2026, I can get to 5 million and more enrollments. That's my next chapter. That's what I'm going to. So now I think that's all I had to talk about, and I spoke a lot. So let's get into Q&A. So Audrey, you have any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Vivian. Thank you for such a great presentation. We do have some questions in the chat, so I'm going to look at those. There are a couple of questions around your translation process. Are you translating your slide content as well for your courses?
Yep. So I'm going to start doing that now, because for slide content, Gamma has the option to do the slides in different languages. So if you look at Gamma, it has that option. So I'm in the process of doing that. That's a good question. Someone just brought that up recently. They said that, oh, your slides are in English, but you're speaking in Spanish. So that is in process right now. That is one of the next steps. As I said, I'm focusing on Agentic AI, and I want it to be automated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a question I can answer too, a couple around tools to create. You have your workflow in Gamma, you have your script, you put it in, and you have you use those tools that way. Some people had questions around other tools HeyGen has. I would definitely say check out Video Agent. We do have a webinar next week talking about Video Agent, some of the updated motion graphics. If you do want to give your script and have HeyGen create your video for you with visuals, you can try that out as well. And I'll answer another question people had around length of time you can translate. You're putting your full courses in. Is that right, Vivian? How long are some of your courses that you're able to translate in
So
HeyGen?
the longest one, as I mentioned, the longest one that I had was around 60 hours or so, 60 hours of content. And I translated that entire thing using HeyGen, and I've created in different languages. And I said, all I had to do was like sit on my laptop for an hour and select the courses and just say translate. It's not like you have to wait for one to get over. You can do that all in an hour. So I had around 13 weeks, 7 videos each. So 13 times 7, my math is really bad. Whatever that number is, I put those up there. I sleep, I wake up, and it's ready for me to upload wherever I want to do. So that's what I do. I even do shorter videos which I put on YouTube, and something that you brought up, video agents, they're pretty amazing. I have used some of them just to create some advertisements for my courses, and it creates them very nicely either by using my digital twin or some of them that is available.
Nice. That's awesome. And yeah, I think if for folks, it depends also on what plan you're on. So do check out HeyGen's pricing to find the right plan for you. For the length of video you need to translate for each individual video, but you can find the right plan based on your volume that you're looking to translate.
I think I used one of the pro plans where I get 240 minutes of something. But what I do is I try to, if you kind of put your spread your content properly, you can, and that's something that you'll probably learn as in when you use HeyGen more. It's very beneficial, and even with the credits, they're very cheap. As I mentioned, to Audrey once, that when I started using HeyGen, I paid for that annual fee, which was around $700 or something. After using it, the free version for a week, I don't think that plan is there anymore, but it paid off within like the Spanish and French classes that I made, and I put them up there. I was able to make that amount with my courses within like 2 weeks. And so think of it as like it's free afterwards. So depending on what content, or if you want to monetize, there's a lot of different options available based on the content that you're creating. Also, I see one question about what did you use for your voice, HeyGen or ElevenLabs? And I use HeyGen because ElevenLabs is incorporated in HeyGen. So you can use, I know some people, they go to ElevenLabs, create their audio, and then bring it in here. But why pay for 2 subscription when you have that in HeyGen itself? HeyGen has ElevenLabs. My favorite is Fish, which makes me sound exactly like me. It sounds perfectly like me. I like Panda because I can add all the excitement and different features in there. So that's another option.
Yeah, that's a great call out on the voice engines that you can try. And Fish is a great voice engine available in HeyGen. If anyone is struggling with their voice, it doesn't sound right, we always recommend try switching to create your voice clone with the Fish voice engine in HeyGen. It often works better for people if you're not getting a good voice clone, because it makes such a difference in it really being you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it is.
There are a couple of questions around kind of the technicality of how the translation works, and I can do my best to answer. And I don't know, Vivian, if you have experience from this too, of languages where they're more complicated, where there's more words to say the same thing in another language, or maybe the tone needs to be adjusted, things like that. I don't know how much of those features you use around proofread, or HeyGen has the dynamic duration to allow HeyGen to adjust your scenes to fit with languages. What you've kind of found of different languages, more complex languages, how that works with your courses translated.
Yeah. So for me, initially it was more on like, I would create courses and then translate them. Sometimes the videos would go longer, sometimes shorter. So it automatically adjusted the frames, and it did a really good job. And for me, most of the feedback was from my students, where I would give them. They did say like, there are some places where they would not understand, but they could connect the dots if it did some, because there's a lot of words that I use in AI. And since AI is always evolving, I have to teach some of the words to the system, where you have an option where you can say what it translates to. So there are some times you can actually do those things and set it accordingly. but it does pretty good job of adjusting the length. And so there's I think two options now available. One is video dubbing and one is audio dubbing, which is pretty awesome. I have to still like try to play more with it and then see how it works, because the only language that I can speak other than English is probably Spanish. Sorry, not Spanish, Hindi or Turkish, which I understand a little bit, and I try to see how it does it, how it translates, and again, it's wonders right now because I get my feedback from my students.
Yeah, that's great. There's another question that you kind of just answered. Someone was asking around using like language proofreaders, and in HeyGen you can have a proofreader come in to look at your script and make review that as well. But I definitely hear from other people that they just let the translation do its magic. It sounds like you're setting some words. I think that is, that's very useful of pronunciation and what words should translate to. But it sounds like you have so many students, you can get feedback directly and really adjust to like what your students are, how they can learn.
What I do is usually I follow this where I make the courses and I generate free coupons and send it to all my students, and then they give me feedback based on that.
The real feedback. Yeah. And if in HeyGen, if someone is translating, you can have a proofreader come in as well to look at that for you. So lots of options. So many good questions. We're not able to get to everything today. We're just a couple minutes over actually. So I want to close by just saying a huge thank you to you, Vivian, for joining our February AI Innovators series. We hope that everyone will check out where you can find more about School of AI. Check out our upcoming webinars in February. We have a stacked February calendar. Next week, we've got an AMA around live avatar. We've got a video agent session all about everything new. And a little sneak preview, we're going to launch a community challenge tomorrow to get people creating with Video Agent and sharing how it works for you, see what creative videos people can make with it. So keep an eye out for that and join us later this month. We'll end the month. We have our CEO, Joshua Shu, coming on to do an AMA around our product strategy for the year. So we hope to see you all again. Vivian, I just want to say thank you so much. And we hope to see you again in the community.
Yep, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Audrey, and learn more about HeyGen. I'm really happy about doing this. And whenever you want, you can always invite me. And if anybody has any questions, you can directly reach out to my LinkedIn and ask me questions. And you can set up one-on-ones if you have more questions on HeyGen or how to use it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that so much. Well, have a great rest of your day, Vivian. Thank you to everyone. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.